What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight... Okay. Yeah, sure. Making their debut on the channel tonight, we have Frozen Crown. Yes, indeed. How about that? Frozen Crown making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to do all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity boobity bop, do me a favor. Before you do all those things, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Chuck Brown, and it was also the winner of the Patreon request prioritization poll, winning with 40% of the vote, moving it from number 421 in the queue straight up to number 1. So yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, your voice, your vote does matter. They all want to see me react to this song by Frozen Crown called Far Beyond. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, hang on, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Scarlet Records, okay? And the video has 586,632 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Frozen Crown, Far Beyond official video. Wah, wah, wah.
Damn it.
Whenever we see that word official and it's coming off either the band's or the record label's YouTube pages, the chances, the odds of this video getting blocked are going to be slightly higher. Now, I'm not saying the video's going to get blocked. I'm just saying because it's official and it's coming off, in this case, the record label's channel, the odds of this video getting blocked are going to be a little bit higher. So I'll do what I can within reason. I'm not going to pause like every 10 seconds, but I am going to have to pause frequently, and we're going to have to hope for the best. And hopefully this gets through without getting blocked. We'll see. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Jackals. Getting like Unleash the Archers vibes. I remember Unleash the Archers. I remember them. I remember their sound. And I'm kind of getting vibes of that here. The speed, very fast. Great tempo. I mean, the fast, aggressive tempo. Super clean guitar playing, just like Unleash the Archers. The bass isn't as prominent. The bass isn't as up in the mix, and the bass isn't as featured as Unleash the Archers so far. That may change. That may change. The drumming, great double kick, great skin work, not relying on a whole lot of cymbal work, which I can absolutely appreciate. And then the vocalist, female vocalist coming out strong, not coming in soft. No, she came in like a sledgehammer and dropped it. Really good on her. Really good on her. Couldn't help but notice both guitar players playing Jacksons. It looks like they're both playing Rhodes too, from the looks of it. I can always recognize Jacksons from the fretboard. They'll always have these triangles that narrow and narrow and narrow and narrow and narrow. Ibanez did that for a while too. I think what happened, if I remember the story correctly, Ibanez did that for a while in the late 80s, early 90s, and Jackson wasn't having it. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Jackson actually sued Ibanez, and Ibanez was forced to stop doing those inlays like that because I think Jackson had trademarked it before Ibanez did. So, but I remember seeing Ibanez guitars with those inlays in the 90s, and I was like, those look like Jacksons, but they're Ibanez. That doesn't make sense. And they didn't last. They were only for a few years. They didn't last very long. But you can always recognize a Jackson guitar from those inlays. Anyway, I know, useless. I know, what does this have to do with the song? Absolutely nothing. I'm looking to fill space. God, give me a break. I have to pause, so I have to talk while I have in between these pauses, so this video doesn't get blocked.
Block!
Anyway, let's keep going here. It's good, man. I mean, I'm digging the song. I'm absolutely digging the song. It's very straight ahead. I mean, there really isn't a whole lot of complexity as far as, subdivision work or time key or time or key signature changes or breakdowns or anything like that. This song is very linear. It's very linear. And there's a certain level of simplicity to that. I mean, yeah, the speed is up there. Don't get me wrong. The speed and the what they're playing is obviously making this, a lot more complex than what it really is. If you were to take this same song and let's say play it in halftime. Okay, let's say the song hypothetically is at 195 beats per minute. Or let's make it even. Let's say it's at 200 beats per minute, right? Let's take the song and let's slow it down to 120 beats a minute. Would the song be as impressive sounding? No, it wouldn't be. The impressiveness is coming from the speed and the fact that they're able to control the song as well as they're doing and play the song as tightly as they are at that speed, okay? What they're playing is not that complex. The speed at which they're playing it at, that's impressive. Absolutely. And I will absolutely give credit where credit's due. But what the song itself, the song writing, it's not that complex. It's actually a very simple song. If you slowed the song down to like, seriously, 120 beats per minute, you would see just how simple the song really is. So playing at faster speeds, is it impressive? Yeah, absolutely it's impressive. Especially when you're playing it as tight as they are. So anyway, let's keep going here.
There's no place for lies, and no remorse should hold your run. Far beyond the clouds we'll fly high, up to the sky with no return. Leave your traces to light, and it's never ending bright inside your eyes. Dreams are waiting to come to life.
Oh, halftime feel, okay. Far beyond the clouds. Nice solos. Really nice solos. The harmonizing was nice toward the end when they were playing it together with those harmonies. It was nice. No, I was gonna say something, but the more I thought about it, I was like, actually, no, that's not accurate. That's not accurate. No, it doesn't matter what I was gonna say. It doesn't matter because it's not accurate, so I'm not gonna say it. No, really nice solos from both guitar players. At first, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was watching it first, when I was watching the solos, I was like, okay, so the girl's the lead guitar player, and as it turns out, I don't know. I do feel like she's done predominantly more soloing and solo lines than the guy's been doing. But the guy did solo, and he did the second half of the solo really, really well. I still get the feeling that the girl playing the guitar is technically the lead guitar player. And I could very well be wrong about that, but that's the impression that I'm getting. So I'm sure in the comments you guys will let me know. Is it an even split, or does she do most of it and he does some of it? Let me know. I don't know. So if I'm wrong, set me straight. Please do. Let's finish this out, and we'll get to the review.
We'll fly high up to the sky with no return. Leave your traces to light, and it's never ending bright inside your eyes. Dreams are waiting to come to life.
See what I mean? It's like, good ending. Good, solid, strong ending. No fade, nothing like that. No gimmick needed. Just a nice, solid bum, 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 that triplet feel. ending. Really nice. Really nice. Let me think about it. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Frozen Crown with Far Beyond. This was a request from Chuck Brown, and it was also the winner of the Patreon request prioritization poll, winning with 40% of the vote, moving up from number 421 straight up to number 1 in the queue. So yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, your voice, your vote does matter. All right, let's get right to it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.8. Yep, 8.8. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, it was a great job. Plain and simple, it was a great job. Everything they played sounded impressive. Everything they did sounded impressive. Yeah, yes, it did. Okay, I want you to remember that I did say that everything I heard was impressive. Okay, it was, and I will fully acknowledge it. Would I say mind blowing? Unfortunately, no. And look, I understand that what I'm gonna say here, I'm just gonna preface you guys. I'm gonna pre-frame you guys, and I hope everybody understands. I understand that what I'm about to say is not fair. I understand that. It's circumstantial, and the truth of the matter is life is not always fair, guys. It's not. It was impressive. I cannot honestly say it was mind-blowing because I've heard other bands like these guys do the exact same thing, play the exact same way, write songs in the exact same format, play at the exact same speed, play at the exact same intensity. So I cannot sit here and say that my mind was blown because it wasn't. I'm sorry, it wasn't. If I had heard these guys before I had heard bands like Dragon Force, before I heard bands like Unleash the Archers, before I heard bands like Soilwork, before all these other bands, would my mind have been blown? Yeah, probably. And will we be looking at a higher score? You better believe it. We'd be up in the 9s, okay? But the truth of the matter is, I have heard all those other bands. I've seen all those other bands do the exact same things that these guys did. So I honestly cannot sit here and say that my mind was blown, okay? I will give credit where credit is due. They were very impressive. Yes, they were. Was it amazing? I don't know if I could go that far. Was it mind-blowing? No. Honestly, no, it wasn't, okay? Is that fair? No, it's not fair. But unfortunately, when we're talking about judging, when we're talking about being objective, I gotta be objective, guys. I've seen and heard this before. Not this particular song, not this particular group, but this particular style. Yes, I have heard it before. Now, having said that, they did a great job. They were very impressive. I was absolutely impressed with everything I heard. It was clean. There was no slop. There was no, bleed over. There was never any of those moments where you heard like the pick get hooked up on the string. But guys, that's also studio recording. There's a lot of post-production that goes into this stuff, and a lot of cutting and pasting that goes into this stuff. A lot of jump-ins, a lot of, we'll pop you in right here, and stuff like that. There's a lot of that stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you as the common viewers, guys that don't know anything about the music industry, you don't see and you don't know. For those of us who are in the industry, who do work in studio, who have worked with bands in recording sessions and recording albums, you know what I'm talking about. You know what a wonderful weapon Pro Tools is, right? Now, here's my question. Very impressive, very clean, a lot of fun to listen to, great energy, great drive. Can they play just like that live? If they can, then I'll be far more impressed, because a lot of these bands that I've heard that do super well on recordings and on studio albums, they go out and they play live. It's not nearly as clean. I mean, they get through the song, it's recognizable. I mean, and they do a good job of it, but it's nowhere near as clean. Okay, now in a live setting, if these guys come out and they're just as precise, just as clean in a live setting as they are in studio, then I'm gonna have a much different opinion. You know, I'll be like, wait a minute, these guys can do it live. Okay, now it's a whole new ball game. Everybody was super good. I mean, everybody was super talented. The two guitar players in particular. I mean, you can't say enough about them, right? I mean, very, very talented guitar players, both of them. Yeah, it seems to me like the girl was the lead guitar player, and the dude was, you know, also lead guitar player, but not the lead guitar player. Not like she was. She did like 3/4 of the lead work. So I feel like she's the quote unquote lead guitar player, and he's the other guitar player. You know, he's not the lead, but he does lead work. Kind of Judas Priest-ish in a way. Glenn Tipton doing like 3/4 of the solo work, while KK Downing did like 1/4 of it. You know what I mean? Very similar to that style of guitar playing approach, and, you know, delegating who does what. Now, the bass playing and the drumming, I think, were very impressive. I was very impressed by the fact that they were so tight and so locked in at that speed. It says a lot. It really does. Was anything the bass player doing notationally all that impressive? No, he was laying it down, keeping it on those root notes, and keeping that tempo going, locked in with the drummer, really tight in the pocket. And that's what you want. More than anything else from your bass player, that's what you want. If your bass player can't do that, it doesn't matter what else he can play. It doesn't matter how fancy he can play. If he can't sit in the pocket and lock in with the drummer, I'm sorry, but that bass player is useless. This bass player was not useless. He was absolutely locked in with the drummer, and that's what you want. The drummer, he did some cymbal work, don't get me wrong. He did some spots, especially some fills, where he was very cymbal reliant, but for the most part, very skin oriented, and I appreciate that from drummers. I don't mind it when drummers use cymbals. I don't mind at all, but when they rely on cymbals, that's when I have an issue, and that's what I'm not a big fan of. There were a couple fills that were a little cymbal heavy, but I never felt once like he was relying on the cymbals to do all the work for him. I really feel like he was very much skins oriented, and I absolutely appreciate that. The last person I want to talk about is the vocalist. Now, again, here we go again. Was she impressive? Yeah, she was impressive. I mean, her vocals were strong, projected, powerful, great tone, accurate, great diction, great vowel formation. I mean, she is a great vocalist without question. I've heard other singers sing just like her, and to some extent, in certain things, even better. So for me to sit here and say that she's the best vocalist I've ever heard, that would be a lie. It would be an absolute lie, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, okay? I will give her all the respect in the world and all the credit in the world for what she did, and what she did was great. It was impressive to hear her sing like this. Like I said, very clear tone. Not relying on heavy vibrato, just being able to sustain notes at a great pitch without any pitch wavering whatsoever, and just sustain the note flatline. Great job on her for doing that. Great diction, great vowel formation, great power, great projection. Loved everything about her. I'm just saying, if I'm being honest, I've heard others, not going to mention any names, but I've heard other vocalists do it better. That's not to say that she did a bad job. Far from it. I would definitely put her up there. I wouldn't put her at the top, though. That's just me, okay? Now, look, I'm sure other people are going to have their opinions. They are more than welcome to have those opinions, okay? You guys can think I'm nuts. Okay, fine. That's perfectly fine. But my opinion, I know I've heard better vocalists than her. But she did a fine job, an outstanding job. Combine all this together, and that's how I came up with the score of 8.8. I'm sorry, I wanted to put this up in the 9s. I did. I was sitting there going, I really want to put this up in the 9s, but the thing is, like I said earlier, I've heard other bands do the same thing, and to be honest with you, I've heard a lot of those same bands do it even better. So it's still a great job though, and that's why I'm giving it the very high great score of 8.8. Now, we may have some people on the channel for the first time who are big fans of Frozen Crown and they have no idea what an 8.8 is. That's okay. They may be thinking it's a bad score. It's not a bad score. It is by definition a great score. Just remember, 8 is great. If you don't believe me, that's okay. I have a solution for you. Take a look down below in the video description. Scroll down a little bit. You're going to see my scoring system chart down there. You will clearly see that 8.0 to 8.9 is the grading scale for what? What does it say? It says great. 8 is great. And this is getting a high 8. A very high 8. So it's a very high great score. 8.8 is where we're at. 8.8 is where we're going to stay. So 8.8, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.